Welcome, everyone. A very warm welcome to today's expert webinar on Introduction to SAP S4HANA for Aspiring Professionals. I am Ria from SpringPeople, India's largest enterprise training provider. I will be your moderator for today's session. We are thrilled to have you with us for this exciting and insightful webinar. Today's session is specially designed for aspiring professionals who are looking to build a successful career in the SAP ecosystem. We will explore the fundamentals of SAP S4HANA, understand why organizations across the globe are adopting it, and learn how it is transforming modern business operations through intelligent automation, real time analytics, and digital transformation. Our expert speaker will guide you through the key concepts, career opportunities, implementation insights, and industry based practices related to SAP S4HANA. Whether you are a fresher, working professional, or someone planning a career transitioning into SAP, this session will help you gain clarity on the opportunities and roadmap ahead. In today's session, we are honored to have Mr. Samir, an experienced SAP solution architect and freelance trainer with over 7 years of corporate training experience. He brings strong expertise in SAP supply chain and logistic modules, including SD, GTS, MM, WM, EWM, PP, and TM. He holds certifications in SAP Transportation Management and SAP Extended Warehouse Management and has worked extensively on global implementations, solution design, pre sales, and client facing delivery. Samir is known for blending real world projects insights and practical, hands on training. He has delivered corporate trainings for leading organizations such as TCS, Wipro, Deloitte, Capgemini, DXC Technology, and EY, helping professionals build job ready SAP skills and accelerate their career growth. Join us for this insightful webinar to understand the basic of SAP S4HANA, explore career opportunities in SAP, and learn how aspiring professionals can build a successful future in the SAP domain. Now, participants, if you have any questions, please do share them in the chat box. They will be answered at the end of the session. Without further ado, let's begin today's session. Over to you, Mr. Samir.
All right, thanks for the introduction. So, as mentioned in the introduction, that this session is all about SAP S/4HANA, the superficial knowledge, the introduction on SAP S/4HANA. So, what is SAP S/4HANA, and what is the different journey of SAP from SAP S/4HANA, deployment option, architecture? We will cover as much as possible in another 30 minutes. Okay, and if during the course of this presentation, if you guys have any question, okay, we can take up all your question at the end of the session. All right. So now, first of all, what is SAP? SAP is a company and which is majorly focused on providing the ERP software in the market, and ERP is enterprise resource planning, and SAP full form is system application and products. Okay, this company came in the market almost in the early 90s, and now it's a leader in the ERP market, one of the leading company in the ERP software market. SAP S/4HANA is advanced next generation ERP software. Okay, it optimizes enterprise business processes across multiple departments like finance, procurement, manufacturing. SAP S/4HANA provide the real-time analytics, automation. It enables the company to achieve the speed and the continuous innovation. So SAP S/4HANA, okay, let's go ahead and start. So how this product itself evolved. SAP S/4HANA came in the market in year 2015. Okay, and before that 2015, we used to have another NetWeaver based platform, that is ECC. Okay, Enterprise Central Component. So we can see this the journey of SAP. It started with the architecture on the R2, which is the based on the mainframe. Then R3, which is a three-layer architecture, which is a presentation layer, database layer, and the application logic layer. Then came the ERP, okay, which we also known as the ECC. And from year 2015 onwards, the SAP S/4HANA came in the market. Okay, S/4HANA is a SAP business suite. Okay, S means suite, and 4 means fourth generation business suite. So that is the full form of S4. Okay, S is the suite, 4 means fourth generation, And HANA means the full form of HANA is high performance analytics appliance. Okay, it is in-memory database developed by and owned by SAP. So SAP S/4HANA is in memory. When we say the in memory application, it means the backend memory, the database, which is known as a HANA memory. It is built by SAP. It is based on the OLTP, the online transaction processing in a single system. Okay, OLTP and OLAP, there are the two different platforms that integrate into the single system. And because of this integration in the single system, all the real-time transaction and the reporting without any duplication of the data was possible. So that is the whole idea of having the in-memory. Earlier version that was deployed on some other non-SAP memory. So that doesn't have the real-time analytics and that has a lot of data duplication also. Okay, but now we have a single copy of the data that we are working. So that's why it is in-memory application. And that memory is known as HANA memory, and the S4 is deployed on the HANA memory. Okay, this ERP is deployed on the HANA memory, is known as S4 HANA. All right, let me know if any specific queries you may have. Okay, now, so this is what we have covered. SAP S4 HANA is the fourth generation business suite run on SAP HANA memory, completely a new product, new code, next generation business suite in SAP HANA, and it has an inbuilt OLTP and the OLAP platform, which is integrated on a single system. Based on what? We do not have a multiple duplicate copy of the data. Okay. All right. Now, what are the different feature of SAP HANA database? Okay. What are the different feature of SAP HANA business application? Okay, that will have a look. Okay. So now SAP offers several strategic advantages. Okay, and it improving the efficiency and the performance. So it is streamlining the data model like a footprint, improve the data throughput. It increase the flexibility, allowing the business to develop new economical focused model in memory computing. Okay, and then evaluation in timeline. Earlier, we used to have a single tier architecture. Okay, we are talking about this slide. When we used to have a single tier architecture, then two tier architecture, then three tier, then came the ERP ECC. Okay, so on the all these version, let's talk about the single layer architecture where the application and the database are in the single system. Two layer where the application and the presentation are two different layers. Three tier where application, presentation, and the database are in three different layer architecture R3. Followed by the ERP, which was the enhanced package known as the ECC that was released before SAP S4HANA. Okay, we used to work on ECC, and from 2015 onwards, S4HANA came in the market. Okay, and S4HANA was developed only on SAP HANA database. That's what I mentioned. SAP HANA memory is the main core on which the SAP S4HANA was deployed. Okay, all right. So we can see here what are the different benefits. Data is stored directly in the RAM, so that's why the entire data is in the RAM because it's an inbuilt memory. And we know if the entire data is in the RAM, we are not going to create a duplicate data on the ROM. So it means the inbuilt processing of the system is very high. Simplified data model. Okay, remove data redundancy because it has an inbuilt memory, so it is not replicating the data in the from the hard database ROM to the inbuilt memory, virtual memory RAM. So it is causing removal of redundancy. Okay, all right. So that's why it is been told by SAP that it is 800 1800 times faster as compared to the previous ECC. Okay, all right. So if we compare more with ECC, so ECC is providing the central component for SAP Business Suite, whereas SAP S4HANA is a business suite in itself. ECC used to run on non-SAP database, but SAP S4HANA run on SAP HANA database only. ECC was an on-premise ERP system, and SAP S4HANA do provide the cloud-friendly deployment option also. Okay, all right. Let's proceed further. Okay, what are the different features provided by SAP S4HANA? All right, so you can have a look at here. It's being mentioned SAP S4HANA. You can see here IoT, Internet of Things, the business suite, social network, big data, devices, people it is connecting. So a lot of different channels are interacting with SAP S4HANA. So SAP S4HANA Business Suite has various advanced features when compared to earlier SAP product. Okay, so what are the different features provided by SAP S4HANA? The user interface. Look at the first one, the user interface. Fiori user experience. Now, SAP S4HANA is providing the Fiori based user experience. Okay, we do have a Fiori apps. So earlier, until ECC, the user has to log in their desktop, in their system and start working. But now, along with the Fiori experience, user not necessarily have to log in the desktop. They can use their mobile phones. Okay, they can use their mobile phone. In their mobile phone, they can access whatever the application or the apps that they want to access for their daily routine processing. Okay, so all the business user, take an example of sales user, warehousing, finance, okay, inventory, material management, production planning, all the different users based on their daily routine, they will be authorized with a different Fiori apps. So the SAP is now coming in a version of apps. So these apps are called the Fiori apps. It is giving the user a flexibility to work remotely anywhere, okay, any location, okay, and that too not exactly log in the system. They can simply access the SAP using their mobile phones. Okay, so the devices, now more people can connect to SAP, and they can connect to any remote location. They can connect to a lot of different devices, mobile devices. Okay, other feature is a SAP HANA database itself. As we know, SAP runs its own in-memory database. So called that in-memory is called as SAP HANA memory, which enable in-memory computing, in-memory database. The data is stored in the main memory rather than keeping on the hard disk. Now, SAP HANA database support column-based storage, enabling the better compression as there are only few distinct value compared to the rows. Column-based storage help in parallel processing. Okay, so all the memory-based aggregates, indexes, history table are removed from the SAP S/4HANA. Okay, all these aggregation, indexes, history table that were used to accept and perform the internal search in the memory. So that internal search is not required anymore now in SAP in HANA memory, because HANA memory itself is a database process and analyze the data with amazing speed due to the column storage. Okay, and OLTP and the OLAP integration. Okay, all right, fine. Okay, so then we can see here that the different platform on-premise or the cloud-based. SAP S/4HANA can be deployed in the company in two different options. Can be deployed on-premise or cloud edition. We know the companies, if they are owning the entire servers where the SAP has been deployed for their business, if the company is managing all the servers internally, and so they can go for the on-premise edition deployment. Okay, but if the company they don't want to maintain the server, rather than they want SAP to maintain their server, they want the SAP to take care of the maintenance activity or the cleanup activity or any kind of archiving activity. So in that case, the business user, they can go with a cloud subscription. Okay, rather than buying this entire software and deploying in their own managed server, the business can go with the cloud subscription. Okay, in that case, this cloud edition, the business will have access to all the entire SAP software. Okay, they can do a kind of a modification or the customization to the whatever the SAP object that they are looking for. But this subscription, the cloud subscription, will have two type of subscription: private edition and the public edition. So in case of private edition, the business user will take a cloud subscription. The server will be maintained by SAP. All the maintenance, authorization will be taken care by the SAP. But the business will have more authorization to do the customization in the object, SAP objects. But in case of public edition, the server will be maintained by SAP, managed, maintained, archived by the SAP, and the business will have a limited access. And when we talk about the customizing the object, okay, they can display the entire software, they can provide any kind of changes, but their data dictionary object, they cannot do multiple customization in case of public subscription. Okay, whereas on premise they have the full-fledged access. Okay, because this time the SAP is deployed in the company's own network, own server, and they can do the customization of the SAP business process as per their business requirement. Okay, it's a full-fledged access. Okay, which is better, that is decided by the business as per their business network. What's suited to the business, on premise or the cloud subscription, that is decided by the business. Okay, all right, fine. Now, what are the different benefit of SAP S for business? So it provides many other features. Okay, largely the features are advantages to the business. The implementation of the simplified data model, which lead to decrease in the size of data footprint, which in turn increase the data throughput. Okay, next is the increasing flexibility of the business, which enable the business to conceptualize and construct a new business model, which all likely results in a substantial increase in the revenue. Okay, the ability to reinvent the business model like to results in a substantial increase in the revenue. The incorporation of as in-memory computing feature facility the facilitating the optimization of planning, execution, productivity, resulting in the faster and the more efficient business operation. SAP S/4HANA is upgraded for better integration. Okay, the IT infrastructure is simplified by integrating all the application in a single system. As we know, we are providing here the SAP S/4HANA Business Suite. So one single system where all the application will be integrated, resulting in the reduction of IT cost and saving the operational timing also. Because SAP is providing a real-time integration between all the different modules available in SAP. Okay, that's why the SAP is leading in the market because of tight integration provided. Okay. Now, in-memory data provides anytime, anywhere access to the data, thus adding the decision-making process with the real-time data. Okay, right? And as we know, we have discussed that the columnar itself, it provides the column level database. So, and the column level database avoid any kind of a duplication of data redundancy, and it provide inline faster analytics search. Okay, let's go ahead. All right. So this is, I just told you guys that SAP S/4HANA is a combination of OLTP, online analytical processing, and the OLAP. It's an in-memory columnar database. Okay. So earlier we used to have three copy of the data, transaction data, then analyzing, then accelerating or analyzing and reporting the data. But now we don't need these multiple duplication copy of the data. We are providing SAP S/4HANA in inbuilt memory. Okay, one single copy of the data for providing the transaction and analysis. Okay, we do not have to do the transaction and the analysis in the two separate copy of the data now. Okay, all right. So, all right. So SAP S/4HANA feature again, okay, providing the real time, the increased business productivity, simplified business processes, because it is providing the role based Fiori apps that we have discussed, that the more better user experience, user can access the system from anywhere using these Fiori apps. Okay, and it is more, the other feature is the third party integration. There are a lot of other third party integration tool are available like Ariba or Hybris. Okay, success factor, there are other ERP which is available in the market, and SAP S/4HANA can integrate with these other business network. Okay, all right. And it is, the other feature is the mobility. It is easily can be accessible using the mobile phones now. Okay, all right. These three strong feature of the SAP S/4HANA, the Fiori based, the user experience, better user experience, SAP HANA, the inbuilt memory, and the simplified model. We do not have to maintain a duplicate copy of the data, simplified model. Okay, these three are the strong pillar of SAP S/4HANA. Okay, all right, fine. Now, right. So I'll explain this slide first. What are the different deployment option of SAP S/4HANA? The SAP is providing what all different type of deployment option. So SAP S/4HANA comes with various deployment options. Business can now deploy this SAP S/4HANA Business Suite either as on-premise or the cloud. I just give you a heads up that on-premise is internally managed. The servers are internally managed by the business, and cloud premises where the system is, the server, etc. is managed by SAP. Okay, the server is owned by SAP, and any kind of archiving or the maintenance will be taken care by the SAP. Okay, business can go either with on-premise or S/4HANA Cloud Edition. Okay, so these are the edition, or on-premise, then the cloud option, then hybrid. Hybrid is a combination of these two, partially on-premise, partially cloud. Okay, all right. So what is this on-premise? With on-premise deployment option, customer have more flexibility and freedom to customize. As I told you guys already, on-premise is a full-fledged access to do the customization on the SAP objects. According to the business need, customer can customize any SAP HANA object if they are going further with the on-premise. Okay, the customization and the upgrade required for the business process require extensive planning and the testing. Therefore, time taken for the on-premise deployment option is higher. SAP S/4HANA on-premise managed by HANA Enterprise Cloud. SAP on-premise managed by the customer directly. An entire server of on-premise managed by the customer itself. Whereas on the other hand, SAP S/4HANA Enterprise Cloud. So cloud is a deployment option where the license for the software is obtained by the customer by bring your own license model. Okay, and it's a kind of an infrastructure subscription. As I told you guys, this is a cloud subscription option. The infrastructure is hosted by the customer in the SAP, in the specific landscape on SAP HANA Enterprise. SAP HANA, the SAP will provide their own HANA server. On this server, the customer has to deploy their infrastructure. Okay, any kind of other further, other cloud provided companies are also there, like Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, etc. is also available in the system. Okay, where business can choose any cloud provider, whether it's go for the Microsoft or SAP HANA Cloud or Google Cloud, and business can deploy the SAP objects in these infrastructure or the cloud option provided by these company. So this the scope cover full SAP S/4HANA functional, country, and the industry scope and the partner add-on. Now customization and the modification, extensibility possibility are supposed to be the limited in this edition. Configuration is done by using IMG, so all the standard configuration is allowed in the cloud subscription. But as far as the customization to the objects are applicable, not all the business object can be customized. There's a limitation here. And managed by the SAP, so the cloud which is managed by the customer itself. Now, so on-premise deployment option is managed by the customer, cloud provider the hyperscaler. The license is obtained from the perpetual license. Infrastructure is hosted by the customer, data center, or by the hyperscaler like Microsoft Azure, etc. Scope cover full SAP S/4HANA functional, country-specific template, and the partner add-on. All right. And in the cloud, we have two kind of a subscription, public and the private cloud edition. So with the public cloud, rise of cloud computing and being applied to the software product, SAP leading software product company is not an exception here. So SAP itself has thousands of solutions covering the largest cloud portfolio in any provider. So SAP itself is providing the thousands of different business function as a cloud subscription. So SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud Edition is one of the SaaS product developed by SAP as a subscription-based services, where the license for the software is a service-based license, and it is available as a subscription. Okay, this edition, the public edition, public cloud edition, SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud Edition is available with RISE, and SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud Edition is based on the multi-tenant server. In this edition, two or more tenants share the cloud space. SAP hosts and operate the cloud infrastructure. The upgrade are maintained by SAP itself. All the upgrade, maintenance, archiving is taken care by SAP. So the right, whereas so more about cloud edition, it has two kind of a release. So it is an annual release where the upgrade and the existing functionality are taken care by SAP, and the other one where the customer itself will take any kind of a upgrade option, whether the customer can decide whether they want to go for the upgrade option, yearly option or not. Whereas in the private edition, the private is nothing but it's a kind of a cloud version on premise only, where the full-fledged access will be available to the client to customize the business object as per the business need. It is also subscription-based software where the license will be available with a different subscription object. And so the SAP S/4HANA Private Cloud Edition is a single tenant server. Here we don't have the multi-tenant. Only one tenant user can use the server and customize the object as highly possible. And here also the upgrade are fully managed by the customer. Here the SAP will not take care of maintaining the server. Customer has to maintain the server. Okay. All right. Fine. So these are some of these aspect of SAP S/4HANA, the different deployment option I explained you guys. Okay. Now find the right path to the SAP S/4HANA. Now how the business will come to know which SAP S/4HANA deployment option that they can go across. So now we have to look at what kind of implementation first of all, whether the SAP is newly being installed, so it means it's a completely new implementation of SAP S/4HANA, or it is just a system conversion or upgrade. The client is already on SAP ECC and they're just upgrading to S/4HANA. And what are the different landscape that they are following? Based on these aspects, the SAP best practice, the guided configuration, or the methodology, deployment methodology can be predicted. The business value. So the one thing is assured that SAP S/4HANA will add the business value by providing the faster and the less service intensive initial implementation, rapid adoption, and the extensive framework of the partner. Okay. Other benefits are the time to value, okay, time to reach to the market, and the total cost of the ownership. It is completely license based now. So the budget, lack of, and the planning and the transition period. So all these IT infrastructure, okay, all these are the different parameters that the business has to look into while deciding which S4HANA deployment option will be best suited for the business. Okay, all right, fine. So, so there we come. What approach? Whether it's a greenfield, what are the different transition scenario for the SAP S4HANA? If the client is upgrading their system, they are already using ECC and they are just upgrading their system. Okay, then they will go for which option that they will go for. Or if the client is completely having a new implementation, okay, or it's a combination of these two. So look at the first implementation, the greenfield. It's a completely new implementation. If the client is completely new to SAP and they are directly deploying SAP S4HANA, this is called the greenfield implementation approach. So the term greenfield means the constructing from the ground level. Okay, greenfield approach means constructing from the ground level a system that is developed in a new environment with no constraint from the previous system. So the greenfield approach can be called a new implementation rather than a conversion or upgrading from the previous system to the another, which will also involve the complete restructuring of the entire system, where all your data from the existing legacy system will be moved to a new system. Okay, so the greenfield approach. Company using the SAP legacy system with a number of customization. We find this complex method, but it can be simplified approach the system with no such customization. It is relatively easy for the system that is not carrying forward such customization in the new system. Advantage of the greenfield implementation is that the user can predefine their migration object and the custom code with respect to the new business operation. Okay. On the other hand, is a brownfield. Okay, the next is a system conversion. If the client is already using ECC or SAP and they want to upgrade to S4HANA, that is the brownfield approach. So in the brownfield approach, they are alternatively redesigning their old system, a system where development or the upgrade is being made to the existing system. Brownfield approach is upgrade made to an existing legacy system. ECC, that is why it is called the system conversion also. In this approach, the new system which will coexist with the new system is already in place. Okay, the new system has to, because until unless the new system will be operational, the business user will be coexist or working in parallel with the old legacy system or ECC system. Okay, that's why the coexist word came. The company can carry forward all the existing business process and the customization in the new system. It may look like a hindering the whole concept of adopting a new innovative system, but if the existing system is up to date, followed by the best workflows and the restructured or reevaluated for any concern of the business process before reporting into the new system, then it could result in a successful implementation. Now, this kind of approach is best suited for the customer who are just scaling up to the new SAP system, who are already in SAP ECC and they are scaling up to SAP S4HANA system. Okay. Now it will involve the restructuring of their process, any kind of a gap that they can address as per the country specific template. So this implementation is not a time consuming. Greenfield is a more time consuming because we are starting from scratch. Brownfield is just a system conversion or upgrade. So it is not a time consuming like a greenfield. Obviously, it is not a cost involved that much cost also. So brownfield involve less cost, less timing. Greenfield involve more timing and the more cost. Okay. Then come the third option, the landscape transform, which is a hybrid option of greenfield and the brownfield. Okay, this hybrid transition, which is a combination of uh, greenfield and the brownfield, as the name itself suggests, this is a conversion method. It's a combination of greenfield and the brownfield. It takes the best of both the method. This the enterprise with a huge volume of data and the complex system may adopt this hybrid model. For the companies wanting to retain their legacy system but having restriction on the new system conversion method, blue field, this is also called the blue field. Blue field is a combination of green and the brown field. Blue field is adopted. The blue field is a comfortable fit for some kind of flexible method. As I said, this will have a few objects from the green field and a few from the brown field. Okay, so the company who want to retain their legacy system and they also want to upgrade to the new system, but having some kind of a restriction. That landscape, that such kind of a company will go for this blue field transformation. This method is used to be called as the landscape transformation. Okay, it has two possibilities such as shell creation and the mix and match. Now, what is this shell creation and mix and match? Shell creation is the option where the production system created without master data or transitional data. The entire ABAP repository unnecessary configuration changes are required in the ECC system to convert to SAP S/4HANA. Mix and match is generally S3 system is installed, existing configuration, ABAP repositories is reported, transported, and the master and the transaction data is upgraded or migrated to the new system. Okay. So these aspect we have to consider while talking about the green field, brown field, or blue field deployment option. Right? Okay. Now the different implementation obviously will involve lot of other aspect also, like a project scope. What is a project scope? What are the different object, which country, and the business requirement, finding the right method, whether we go for the green field, brown field, or the blue field operation or deployment option. Then the IT infrastructure, how much strong is IT infrastructure to adopt a new SAP S/4HANA system, data migration, how much data volume is there, okay, all right, and customization, how much to up to what level the customization is required, okay, and whether the system the client can want to go to the on-premise or the cloud-based, okay, deployment option, all right. This entire thing will cover, how the deployment option from the SAP we can go through, because it involves a different multiple step, okay, or of process and evaluating the entire business model, okay, that whether the entire business model one by one, step by step can be deployed, SAP S/4HANA can be deployed, and it will lead to the successful implementation. So that depends on multiple fit, like fit to the standard SAP processes, scope, okay, migration and the testing team, the onboarding and the deployment, and the final support. So this is the project cycle, the SAP S/4HANA project cycle. Okay, it will start with experience trial. The business will be given a few business case studies. Then how much of their business processes are standard fitting and providing the SAP standard solution, SAP S/4HANA solution to the business requirement. Then the scope and the configuration. What are the different scope and the configurations are required to meet the business functional need from the system. Then how much is the technically robust the system is, how much integration is required with the third party solutions, okay, and the internal testing, UAT or unit testing, or the integration testing, or the performance testing. Then deployment, how much deployment is required, okay, all right. So, and then providing the support, okay, there has to be a proper guidance and on onboarding the support team so that the project can be handed over to the support team, and uh, the best one can be provided to SAP S/4HANA successful implementation. Okay, all right. And so in short, SAP itself is a kind of an activate framework that we this is called the activate framework. This will help the organization to manage the project. Okay, and the consultant to understand the SAP S/4HANA requirement and deliver the project. Okay, so best practice, guided configuration, activate methodology. These three things, three pillar of this entire methodology. Based on that, the discovery of the entire solution, which is discovery is a kind of a finalizing the customer requirement or the solutioning phase. Then preparing the project plan. Then exploring the different fit to standard analysis. Then realizing, which is a requirement, and deploying and doing the standard configuration. Okay, so these are process. Okay, how this SAP S/4HANA project will be delivered in what step. Okay, so this is called the SAP Activate methodology. Okay, we have the different methodology for the project. Earlier for the ECC we used to follow the waterfall methodology, but now we have in S/4HANA SAP S/4HANA SAP Activate methodology to deliver the projects. Okay, all right. So now we have this embedded analytics. This is more to the reporting purpose. Okay, the SAP S/4HANA provide a data model, and these data model will provide a real-time fast reporting. So we have the different views which is available. These views are available in the BW module. We do have embedded analytics now. Okay, as per the analytics, there is a predefined delta or the data models are available. Okay, and so this is available to the business user and to the developer. Developer is providing the ABAP, they are providing their own CDS view, etc., to develop more and more reporting requirement for the business user. Okay, so these data models are predefined available for taking advantage of S4 HANA inbuilt memory to access the analytics. So it deliver the analytics for the SAP S4 HANA, work and tailor for the business need and role. And virtual data model is CDS, which is called the CDS views. These are the virtual data model is available for the ABAPer, the developer, to develop the business reports as per the business requirement. Okay. So this is the embedded analytics, also one of the strongest feature of SAP S4HANA. Okay. And this is the initial journey of S4HANA, how SAP came in the market and started in 2011 as a SAP HANA memory. 2012 SAP BW reporting module is been deployed on SAP HANA memory. 2013 it came with the integration of OLAP and the OLTP and making a single copy of the data. 2014 it is powered by the finance. So the finance module was deployed on SAP S/4HANA memory. 2015 other modules and the other analytics was deployed onto in the SAP HANA memory like BW module, finance module, other user experience like Fury, etc. was deployed. And now here the latest version is SAP S/4HANA 2025. We have a lot of different module: sales, purchase, warehousing, transportation. All the different modules are now is a part of SAP S/4HANA Business Suite. Okay, and now SAP S/4HANA is upgrading more and more and going towards the future landscape, bringing more and more AI features in the system. Okay, so that is the entire journey of SAP S/4HANA so far. All right, all right. Let me know if you guys have any question. Okay, so I'm done with this presentation on SAP S/4HANA, and I'll just hand over this presentation to our colleagues. They can guide you guys further.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samir, for such an engaging and insightful session. I'm
Thank
sure everyone here has gained valuable knowledge and practical insights into SAP S4HANA and the career opportunities it offers. If you are interested in learning more about SAP technologies and professional certification programs, do check out our discounted batches of virtual instructor LED trainings on our website, springpeople.com. These VILT trainings are delivered online from the comfort of your home and are flexible as per your schedule and location. If you do not find any suitable batches, we'd be happy to discuss and schedule private batches for you. If you are unable to join live online sessions, do explore our affordable self paced learning programs as well. For more information, please write to us at training@springpeople.com or call the number displayed on the current slide. Now, we will open the forum to answer the questions we have received during the session. So let's get our questions answered. Over to you, Mr. Samir.
Fine. If any question, let me know. All right. If no question further, guys, then I think we're good to close. Thank you very much. Over to you from the Spring people. Please, you can take over.
Thank you so much, sir, once again. Thank you, everyone. We truly appreciate your participation today. We will be sharing the webinar recording with all the participants soon. We also request you to kindly provide your feedback before signing off, as it helps us improve the quality of our future events. Thanks again for joining us today. Signing off on behalf of Team Spring People, we hope to see you again in our upcoming expert webinar. Take care and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.